The Lord is our shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh I like down in a green pasture. Him leadeth I beside still water them. Him restoreth I soul. Him leadeth I in the path of righteousness for him name's sake. Yea! Though I rasta, I go walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I can't fear no evil. For thy rod and thy staff them comforted I and I. Unu prepareth a table before I, in the presence of our enemy them. Unu anointed I head with unu oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy I go follow I all the days of I life. Me I go dwell in the house of the Lord God. Jah kadamawe. How ma we so bold this I don't know what it was clear for. Jah patabeda vio. Monye ku agbe no heavy. Me gba fumato. How what you mo eh? Oh you waladong. Oh you waladong. Oh, you waladong. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushodemo, where we speak truth to power. Now here we don't criticize, but if we must, it would only be on one condition: to build and not to destroy. That is why we keep saying we are in the service of God and country. Again, here we are not neutral, never claim to be, because we have taken sides, the side of the truth. And my name, Blakk Rasta. Now in every traditional African home there is a black pot. And each time this black pot sits on the fire, there is something super sumptuous cooking. Ingredients of so many different types, shapes and sizes, aromas and even flavors. Put aside all their differences and relocate into the black pot, where they are subjected to some really good amount of heating. At the end of the day, they produce sumptuous food in all its palatability for the nourishment of the family in its whole entirety. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonamo, where we speak truth to power. And that is what we do here literally. We pick up ideas from all walks of life, all and sundry, the rank and file of our people, and subject these ideas to some crucial forensic scrutiny. Right after that, we tease out the creme de la creme of all these ideas, and we use that for the development of our people, our continent, our land. Oh yes, in all its entirety. This is the voice of the people. The Black Pot, aka Kukushonamo, where we speak truth to power. We are live on YouTube. We are also live on Facebook. You will also find us on Instagram. Please also find us on X, formerly called Twitter, and on TikTok. We keep taking and talking with the hands of patriotism. This is the headquarters of the truth. This is the domicile of the truth, the habitat of the truth, the address of the truth. This is the home of exclusives. Come here. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonamo. And here we speak truth to power. My brother, my sister, forgive us for the late start of the show. Today we are full of exclusives, and we have been working in the background to be able to pile up all these things and get them ready for you. It's a tight show, and we have been working from yesterday. My brother, my sister, it is hot and rough. Please share the broadcast. Let everybody be part of today's show, because today's show is going to be most memorable. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonamo. And remember where you hear it first. Anytime you listen to us, we are the champions of exclusives. And what we speak is the gospel. This is the home of the truth. This is the address of the truth. And I'm most excited to be with you. Please, if you have not subscribed to this channel yet, do me a favor. 1 second, just click on the subscription button and then on the notification button so that anytime we are on, you will be reminded to watch us. Oh yes. And above all, please share the broadcast and also recommend us to family and friends. Today we have 4 very important issues to look at. And without much ado, our numbers are scrolling on the screen. Pick up the numbers and do business with us. Maybe you have a certain story so dear to your heart that you want us to follow up on. And you know we do it for free, absolutely. Oh yes, a handshake is enough. Beyond that, no sir, we are good. All right, if you're ready, let's get ready to rumble. Story number 1. Watch this. Secret why Sammy GYAMFI chose BOLA and JOYCELYN DUMAS as GOLDBOD ambassadors. Now the GOLDBOD was founded in April 2025. And it has become one of the pivots of the economy. Now the GOLDBOD is very, very instrumental in our economy right now. Today, if Ghanaians are enjoying a very beautiful economy, if our economy is in a state of economic buoyancy, and every Ghanaian is attesting to that. We just came back from Christmas and the New Year, and so many traders are alluring to the fact that, yes, we have had a good Christmas, better still, a great Yuletide. In April 2025, the GOLDBOD was set into total action. It was supposed to perform like the cocoa board. But this time round, it's supposed to pick up gold from aggregators and present the gold to the Bank of Ghana for the purposes of the Bank of Ghana. Yes, the purposes of the Bank of Ghana. For foreign exchange and at the same time for trade. And as reserves to back our cedi. Oh yes, inflation rates have come down. And it looks like Ghana is looking towards one young man born in 1989 in the Bono Ahafo region. And I'm talking about one Samuel GYAMFI, aka Sammy GYAMFI, a brilliant lawyer. And I truly love this guy. He has become the guy everybody is talking about in Ghana right now. My brother, my sister, when the GOLDBOD was founded, it went straight into action. In a country that has been bedeviled with so much galamsey and illegal mining destroys our water bodies and also flora and fauna. This is Sammy GYAMFI. Dash him away. And come here. Now, my brother, my sister, Sammy GYAMFI went straight into action with the GOLDBOD and all the wonderful things we are seeing happening to our economy. A lot of that can be credited to this guy. There was a controversy that came in. Oh yes, some $214 million loss. But he handled it so wonderfully that the whole of Ghana is now saying and singing one chorus. If this is the price we paid for the buoyancy of our economy, then so be it. But somewhere along the line, the GOLDBOD decided to get some ambassadors, and 2 people were chosen. A gentleman by name, Kwabena Edisi Anochi, or Kwabena Anochi Edisi, depending on how you want to arrange the name, aka BOLA, SKA Boles. We all know this gentleman. He's a media mogul. He has been in the media space, my brother, my sister, from when he was at the University of Ghana, plying his trade. He's credited with the promotion of hip life music in his days. He's managed artists. He's been in the music scene. and also in the media space. He worked with the University of Ghana's radio station. And right after that, he went all the way to work with some other radio stations like Top Radio. From Top Radio, he went to Joy FM. From Joy FM, he moved to be part of the EIB network. He had his own radio station that also became part of the EIB. Bola Ray is not a stranger in the media right here in Ghana. He's a well-respected gentleman, and I worked with him at Joy FM, and we used to share a lot of jokes. He was picked to become an ambassador. Not only this one, also the ever-curvy JOYCELYN DUMAS. She's also a media person. She's acted in a number of movies in Ghana. And anytime we see her on our silver screens, oh, we don't only marvel at her beautiful curves, we also look at how pretty this woman is facially and also upstairs. This is JOYCELYN DUMAS. But I sat back and asked myself, these people, I've never seen them wear gold. I've never seen JOYCELYN DUMAS wear gold. Maybe she wears it only in the bedroom. And I've never seen Bola Ray wear gold. Why did the GOLDBOD boss decide that these two will be picked up as ambassadors for GOLDBOD jewelries? There's GOLDBOD and there's GOLDBOD jewelries. And when we deal with jewelry, we are talking about things that you wear, right? Jewelry, necklace, oh, and you know that. I've never seen these people wear gold. Why were they chosen? Why didn't we choose our chiefs? Maybe Asante Hene could have been a GOLDBOD jewelry ambassador. Maybe Mampong Hene. Maybe even we could go all the way to the BA and pick up a certain chief who is so well known and make him an ambassador. So I decided to go to the GOLDBOD to find answers. When I went, I was told SAMMY GYAMFI was in a meeting. I waited for about 15 minutes and I had to go do other things. So I quickly sent him my message straight up to him and decided to ask him those questions because I needed answers to this. Bam! It hit him. I said, good afternoon, Sammy. I have a few questions. One, why was the need for gold ambassadors for GOLDBOD jewelries? Two, what went into choosing Bola and JOYCELYN and not the traditional chiefs, etc., who display gold on them regularly? And finally, how much are the ambassadors paid for their work? Dash it away. I'm sure when he received that, he told himself, wow, not many people have ever asked me this, but this is deep. We must answer Blakk Rasta. And he sent me answers. What did he say? Number one, he said, because GOLDBOD is a new outfit, it needed to be advertised and branded properly. Why did they decide to choose Bola Ray and JOYCELYN DUMAS? Simple. He said, these are people of national and international reputation. People know them in Ghana so well. They are also known outside Ghana. They are respected. Should they walk anywhere in Ghana and talk about GOLDBOD, people will listen to them. They have a following online and also physically on the ground. Wherever they go, people relate to them. They are people of so much self-respect. For that matter, we just felt that this would be the people to deal with. Of course, we could have chosen other people, but at the time, this was where the dice fell. And we chose Bola Ray. We needed a woman, so we decided to go for JOYCELYN DUMAS. Come here! Now, right after that, the next question was, what is their work? Number one, they are supposed to go around advertising the work of GOLDBOD, making GOLDBOD attractive, and also talking against what is known as galamsey right here in Ghana, illegal mining. Because GOLDBOD can never be severed from galamsey. As long as we are dealing with gold and our country is bedeviled with galamsey, we must cut off that demon called galamsey and deal with plain gold. And SAMMY GYAMFI told me again, they are also supposed to be posting online a number of posts within a week. And I asked him, have you been following up on those? And he said, yes, they are doing a very wonderful work. And we are happy with them. Now the next question, how much is the taxpayer paying for this work? And SAMMY GYAMFI answered, they take 200,000 Ghana cedis each annually. It means every month, they take about 8,000 Ghana cedis. Multiply that by the 12 months, you should be around 200,000 Ghana cedis. This is how much they receive for all their trouble. My brother, my sister, they are supposed to post regularly the activities of the GOLDBOD. They appear at GOLDBOD events. Their images are supposed to be used on GOLDBOD platforms. And anytime they fly in and out of Ghana, their greeting is always supposed to be GOLDBOD. And what is their catchphrase? Remember, it's GOLDBOD jewelries. Own a gold, own a piece of gold. This is the GOLDBOD jewelry. 200,000 Ghana cedis a year. That is how much BOLA earns for being a GOLDBOD jewelry ambassador. JOYCELYN DUMAS also takes that same amount of money. So I asked SAMMY GYAMFI, are you going to start considering some of the chiefs? Imagine making Otumfuo an ambassador of GOLDBOD jewelry. If he accepts to do that, oh my God, it will be a huge achievement. Number one, illegal mining, a lot of it is done in the Ashanti region. GOLDBOD can push Otumfuo by giving him constant reminders to release statements against illegal mining. Otumfuo can be used to fight a lot of illegal mining in Ghana. And if he avails himself, one or two of the activities of GOLDBOD, he might present himself. Imagine the face of Otumfuo on one of these billboards saying that illegal mining is only done by enemies of the state and they shall be treated as such. In fact, this will carry a lot of weight worldwide. Again, if Otumfuo is traveling outside the nation and he has to speak GOLDBOD, or better still, GOLDBOD jewelries, oh my God, do we know the amount of investors who will troop in because already he is the king of gold? Or Tiko Kroso, should he open his mouth to advertise the Ghana gold, all other gold in the world would go extinct. And SAMMY GYAMFI told me, yes, we have plans. We are speaking with some of the chiefs. To be very honest with you, not just the queens, the kings, but also the queens. We are looking forward to having one king and one queen. And when we are able to inaugurate this, it will be a huge event, not only in Ghana, but the whole of the world. I can't wait to see Otumfuo representing GOLDBOD. I can't wait to see Otumfuo representing GOLDBOD jewelry. I can't wait to see the whole world rush to Ghana because there is some kind of gold here, the Dory bar, that is yellower than any other gold bar in the world. Ghana gold would soon have a different price. When internationally gold sells for 2 units, Ghana gold would sell for 5 units, more than twice the cost. My brother, my sister, to SAMMY GYAMFI and the GOLDBOD, we want to say congratulations. And we also want to say congratulations to BOLA. Did we see the signage? How BOLA and his queen of gold sat down together to sign the contracts to be ambassadors for GOLDBOD. Very beautiful. Oh my God. Look at the photographs. BOLA and JOYCELYN DUMAS, they agreed that they will do it. They deserve it. Several years of working in the media space. Several years of making sure that the people get nothing but proper media information. Look at BOLA signing away a year of his life, earning 200,000 Ghana cedis. I'm sure for BOLA, he was telling himself, this money, I might not need it that much, but I am serving my nation. It's an opportunity for me to put another feather in my cap, my hat, telling the whole world that, yes, we have come to represent our country. Thanks so much to SAMMY GYAMFI for thinking this much. And I cannot wait to see Otumfuo as part of this. I would like to be invited to the ceremony whilst the Adwa rhythm is playing. Whilst Nana is stretching his hands left, right, and center with the gold glittering. That is enough advert for GOLDBOD jewelry and beyond. Long live Ghana. Long live the ambassadors of GOLDBOD. Long live the GOLDBOD boss. And long live all the wonderful people fighting against illegal mining. And we pray that GOLDBOD does not end up like the GNPC, where a lot of money was given out and it got swallowed up in corruption. Our prayer is that the GOLDBOD boss, SAMMY GYAMFI, will continue to be focused and see Ghana first. This is the Blackport, aka Kukushonable. And here we speak truth to power. Story number 2. Watch this. Revealed, GYAMFI has been ungrateful. And who is saying this? My own prophet, my own brother, my own father, my own acquaintance, Prophet NIGEL GAISIE. Now, there was a time I went to visit Prophet NIGEL GAISIE, and he told me point blank that he had prophesied to the GYAMFI before he became GYAMFI, that he would be GYAMFI. And I said, oh, I know him personally from London. I knew GYAMFI a long time ago. Let me call him. And I called GYAMFI. GYAMFI answered and he shouted. He said, hey, Blakk. And we started speaking patois together. GYAMFI is a lover of reggae music. He plays musical instruments. In fact, when this man plays reggae music and sings along the lyrics, you will marvel. Now he is the king of the whole of Accra and beyond. When I called him, we spoke nicely, and I asked him, oh, Prophet NIGEL told me that he prophesied about your coming. He said, oh, yes, he did. And then we spoke about some other things, and then that was it. For me, that was the end. I have met GYAMFI. After that, spoken with GYAMFI, the king of Accra and beyond. And we've always had a nice relationship. Then all of a sudden, I realized that there was some kind of bitterness. And what was the bitterness all about? It came out that Prophet Bernard Nelson Eshun, a prophet of quality, my brother, my sister, had also prophesied to the GYAMFI. He picked him up in a certain service and told him point blank that you will be GYAMFI. And it happened. But I knew GYAMFI from a time that he was almost going to be made GYAMFI. And then there was a problem. And I remember him telling me, Blakk Rasta, our people do not want to speak the truth. So I'm returning to London, but I'll keep coming. When they are ready for me, I will be the king and we will change things. Are you not ready to help me? I said, certainly, me manche. I will do it. And we laughed over it. A few years down the line, he became GYAMFI. And I was so happy for him. I called him and I congratulated him. Now, Bernard Nelson Eshen had also prophesied to this man. And when it came to pass, he held it up big time and he made it known like he always does on Facebook, on YouTube, social media in general, and also in church. His members hit the road running with the fact that GYAMFI was prophesied to, that he would be GYAMFI. Then GYAMFI, a couple of years ago, found his way to Bernard Nelson Eshen's church. And in full regalia, he told the whole world how he was prophesied to and he became the GYAMFI. And he didn't end there. He said, the man responsible for my dressing like this, what honor is this man sitting here? Prophet Bernard Nelson Eshen. Bernard was also sitting in the crowd with his wife, Mimi, and he shook his head. My brother, my sister. Then, fans of the two, better still followers of the two mighty prophets of the land started fighting. Oh, our prophet prophesied first. This one said, no, our prophet prophesied first. Abripo Junction, Prophet Nigel prophesied several months later before Bernard. And it fell into the ears of Prophet Bernard. And he decided to address that publicly. Listen to what Prophet Bernard Nelson Eshen said. And also, right after that, we will join that with the GYAMFI himself arriving in the church premise there a couple of years back and ascertaining the fact that this was the man who prophesied and made him a prophet. Watch this.
I'm the one who prophesied and others analyze my prophecy. I'm too big to make time for what people are prophesying and analyze it. I am the prophet who prophesy and others analyze it. One of them said he prophesied to GYAMFI, he gave GYAMFI money and all of that. Tell him that I said, GYAMFI said, this man here is the reason why he's dressed the way he's dressed. Tell them.
This man sitting here, I have an issue with. Because he is the reason why I'm dressed like this. And for so many years, I wasn't calling him, and I'm sure he was a little bothered and all that. But, you know, I was very angry with him. This is a boy, a young man, who had gone all the way to sing for Idahosa at his 56th birthday. And then the man of God called me and said, bring this young man. And then when they brought me, he said, bring my horn. And when they brought his horn, he poured oil over me. And he said, this boy will raise the dead. And then immediately my life changed. there's a whole new anointing around me. And then I met this man. And then he said, God has not called you. He said, is somebody here called Kelvin Taki? Your phone number is 0244268824. And can you come up the stage? And he said, do you know Brother Lawson? Because Brother Lawson made a prophecy to your mother. And after 2 issues, your mother had to hurriedly obey that prophecy. And when you were born, because you could not be born on any ground, but you had to be born in Accra. And after you were born, he blessed you and he gave you something. And I'm about to tell you, I hear the word, I hear something, Gamanche. You are Gamanche.
Biasuma. Biasuma. Biasuma.
And immediately I began to shake because I had already filed all my application to go to Belfast, to the Trinity School, to go to the Bible School, because all I wanted to be after the Idahosa encounter was to be a man of God. And then the prophet told me, he said, I have not called thee to the pulpit, but I have called thee as a Gideon into Ghana lands. I'm speaking vividly, word by word. I have called thee into Ghana lands as a Gideon to break down every wicked altar and resurrect a new one. And he said, I've also called you, later on he said, I've also called you as Nehemiah to rebuild all the broken walls of Accra and ensure safety. And he said, you did art. Do you know you did that subject? I said, no. What is a canvas to an artist? He said, well, it's a plain platform where you can paint and draw anything. He said, yes. Accra is plain. You would draw on it. Today, I say this because the father of this house is a worthy servant of the living God.
He himself has spoken. Gamanche. And in case you didn't catch that, Gamanche is not new to prophecy. He said that he went to Idahosa, Archbishop Benson Idahosa, the spiritual father of Archbishop Duncan Williams Nicholas. And he sang for him, listen, on his 56th birthday. He picked up a microphone and sang to the glory of God. He was just a little boy. And when Archbishop Benson Idahosa heard his voice, he said, bring me that boy. He picked up his horn, anointed him like an ancient prophet, and told him that you have a calling and you shall raise the dead. From that time, he said he was surrounded by so much anointing. All his life, all he wanted to do was to be a man of God, a pastor, preaching the word of God. He was preparing to go to Belfast, to Bible school, when he met Prophet Bernard Nelson Nation, and he prophesied to him straight away that you were prophesied to through your mother, that you will be born and that you will stand in strongly and become a king, by one man called Brother Lawson, and he confirmed it. My brother, my sister, this is what has brought the whole issue. Now, Prophet Nigel GAISIE also sat on TV and he talked about how he prophesied to the GYAMFI, but it looked like the GYAMFI was not giving him a piece of the cake. He said on TV that the GYAMFI did not even give him a hamper during the Yuletide. And he's not so excited about it. He feels that the GYAMFI is being ungrateful to him. And I know that for a fact that Prophet Nigel is not excited that the GYAMFI is not owning up to the prophecy he gave to him. Let's listen to Prophet Nigel, and when we return, I will drop something into your ears that you have not heard anywhere. Watch this.
Man's a king. He said he picked him in a church and also helped him with money.
I, Nigel GAISIE, made him GYAMFI. The now GYAMFI of Accra, Ni Taki Churu. I say it respectfully. If I'm calling you, it's not out of disrespect or dishonor. For the respect I have for this too. I, Nigel Kwabena GAISIE. I, Nigel Kwabena GAISIE. Yes, I picked him by the prophetic, washed him, processed him, and made him the GYAMFI. I did not just pray for him. I added my money to it. Then I had good money.
Action Chapel.
Oh, suffer.
Kumasi.
Abrepo, right? Abrepo. So I watch people, and people are just ungrateful. People are just what? Ungrateful.
People are just ungrateful. He goes ahead to say that the GYAMFI never even brought him a hamper. But we all hear the GYAMFI saying that. Even after the prophecy from Bernard Nelson Nation, he never called him again because he didn't want to bother him. Could this be the reason that GYAMFI has not been able to go to Prophet Nigel GAISIE? Because he told me point blank when I spoke with him that yes, Prophet Nigel had prophesied to him. Was Prophet Nigel being impatient? Should he have taken his time to invite GYAMFI to his church to give that testimony, or to sell the idea to his Hill TV press people to go and have a special interview with GYAMFI? Maybe by now that would have also gone out. Did Prophet Nigel GAISIE try to invite GYAMFI, and GYAMFI didn't come? He told me that he called GYAMFI a number of times and he never responded. Maybe he was busy. Did Prophet Nigel GAISIE go to meet with GYAMFI? Yes, he did. He met with GYAMFI. He called GYAMFI time after time, and those times that he was able to get through to him, I know that they spoke and everything was okay. But naturally, as a human being, Probably he felt terrible that GYAMFI gave all the credit to Prophet Bernard Nelson Eshun. And he didn't say that, oh, there was another prophet who prophesied. The same way he talked about Brother Lawson and Archbishop Benson Idahosa. Maybe Prophet Nigel GAISIE also wished he had said, oh, Prophet Nigel GAISIE also prophesied to me, something like that. Many people have asked me, is this a competition? Who is taking the glory? Is it God or is it humans? This man prophesied that you be GYAMFI. Another man prophesied that you be GYAMFI. And you became GYAMFI. Should the glory not go to God? Yes, it should go to God. But when the GYAMFI decides to mention only one person who did the prophesying, the other person may be peeved. It takes only a few prophets to stand out and say, you know what? Credit or no credit, I don't deserve any credit. Let it go to the Most High God. But we all know, the more it is said that you prophesied to me and I am who I am today, the more members will go to the church to hear the word of God. Especially that these days, some of the churches have become business centers. Prophecies like this could draw more people to the church and they would part with their hard-earned money. Whatever it is, I know that these prophets are two very powerful, distinctive prophets of the land. I have respect for both of them. I've encountered the two of them. And it is unfortunate, though they've not mentioned each other's names. You see, kutie nimnura, kutia nimnura. Now, the other thing Prophet Bernard Nelson Eshun said, and this is where the story is. Come here. He said, go and tell that prophet that I am not interested in his NDC glory. If he thinks that I am coming to take some of the glory of the NDC, let him know that the NDC has invited me more than 3 times to come for a meeting where I will be honored, and I refused because I don't want to be in competition with anybody who has branded himself an NDC prophet. This is deep, isn't it? My brother, my sister. And he again said that he is the one who prophesies and other people analyze his prophecies. He has no time to analyze other people's prophecies. I spoke with Prophet Nigel and he told me, Blakk Rasta, you know that I clap for everybody. I love Prophet Bernard Nelson Eshun. I've never gone to sit anywhere and say anything bad about him. Whatever it is, I am sure that we'll come to a certain beautiful platform. Don't be surprised to see me in his church one of these days. And don't be surprised to see him come to Prophetic Hill to preach one of these days. I am sure that if GYAMFI had been a little grateful to me, some of these things would not have happened. All he needed to say was that, oh, by the grace of God, through this prophet called Prophet Nigel GAISIE, and another one called Prophet Bernard, God made me the GYAMFI. But he said that this was the man who made him GYAMFI. It hurt me, but glory be to God. This is the Blakk Pot, aka Kukushunamo, where we speak truth to power. When we return, hey, we have 2 very hot, crunchy stories. Hey ya, hey yo, wayo.
Skipper George.
Blackpot. Kuku show them.
It's the Black Pot, aka Kuku Shonemo, and here we speak truth to power. Please, if you have not as yet subscribed to this channel, please hit on the subscription button. It takes only 1 second. Right after that, you hit on the notification bell, and everything is everything. Hey, this is the home of exclusives. We never tell the story until we have the X factor. And what is the X factor? What is every other person talking about? What don't they know that we know? Authenticity. We hit it hard. We were first to tell you the name of the lawyer, the American lawyer of Ken OFORI-ATTA'S. We were first to tell you that his visa did not expire. He was picked up, oh yes, by several authorities coming together. And Ghanaians are just hearing what we told you days back, that the FBI has a hand in this. This is the home of exclusives. This is the Black Pot, aka Kuku Shonemo, and here we speak truth to power. Story number 3. Watch this. Mahama finally sells NKRUMAH'S VALCO. In fact, when I heard that VALCO was going to be sold, I became very mad and angry. What is VALCO? Volta Aluminium Company. When Kwame Nkrumah was going to build the Akosombo Dam, he spoke to his very good friend, JFK, John F. Kennedy, and told him, this is what I want to do. He was able to secure funding and build the Akosombo Dam. But at the time, he was asked, the population of Ghana is less than 6 million people. How many people are going to use this power? Your power demands are not even high. This power can feed about 10 times this population. You are going to waste resources. And Nkrumah said, no, we are looking into the future. This population is going to grow. And we can also export power to other countries and make money. And JFK said, okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'll get you an investor on condition that you build a factory that is energy consuming in nature to be able to use the power. Because if the power is generated and it's not used, it goes waste. You cannot save power. No. Akosombo Dam. So John F. Kennedy got him. He handpicked a certain rich businessman called Edgar Kaiser Sr. This is the man. In fact, he went to school in California. Powerful man, made a lot of money. He was 1 year older than Kwame Nkrumah. This guy was born in 1908. He had money and he came to Ghana. And the Akosombo Dam was built. Then we also had the VALCO or Volta Aluminium Company built. In January 1962, Kwame Nkrumah sat down with Edgar Kaiser on the same table to sign the contract. This is Kwame Nkrumah sitting there. The men at the back were just witnesses. And on Nkrumah's left, far left there, is Edgar Kaiser also signing the contract. After that, they shook hands and Nkrumah embraced him hard. Look at it. Nkrumah was so happy. What Nkrumah wanted, and listen attentively, was that we were going to be able to mine bauxite in the country. Bauxite is like clay, sand, reddish in nature. And today, as we sit in Ghana, we have over 900 million tons of bauxite sitting in Ghana unmined. Do you know where we have our bauxite in Ghana? Awaso, Nyinahene, and Chebi. Full of bauxite. From bauxite, we get alumina. From alumina, we get aluminium. Nkrumah was happy. Remember, this was 1962. When the factory was built and everything was done. Nkrumah was overthrown in 1966 before he could see the factory operate. Sadly. The factory opened in 1967 when Nkrumah was already in exile. But he will call Kaiser and say, please, I know I'm not there. I know you can take advantage of the people because I am not there. But please, I know you won't do that. You are a great man. This is VALCO. My brother, my sister. And they started making money. But the interesting thing was this. VALCO under Kaiser, Edgar Kaiser Sr., only used the bauxite here. In fact, at the time they imported everything into Ghana. From the bauxite, they made their alumina. From the US, Seattle, and came all the way to Ghana. Even toilet paper and food they imported from America. Nothing came from Ghana. This was not what Nkrumah intended. He wanted to have an aluminium smelter here. Up till now, they don't have that. They wanted, through Nkrumah, to have everything done at VALCO. The moment Nkrumah was out, they decided to bring everything from the US. The only thing they got from us was the land. My brother, my sister, over 600 acres of land. My brother, my sister, is it 6,000? 6,000 acres of land. Yes. VALCO is sitting on that. My brother, my sister, and watch this interesting thing. They imported everything apart from the land and the people that they employed in Ghana to clean, to man some of the machines and all that. All the professionals came from America. And Ghana gave them free power. They were making money. And because everything was coming from America, they dodged all the taxes. It was intentional. It is called tolling. T-O-L-L-I-N-G. What is tolling? You will bring everything in so that if you are paying taxes at all, you don't pay taxes to the people of Ghana. The taxes go to the people of America. After all these things you bring in, you are paying for them, paying taxes in America. And they got free energy. They rolled that for a long time, from 1967. They made a lot of money. And then they were supposed to have it for 30 years. After 30 years, in 1997, oh, Jesus. They were supposed to give it out. But they continued talking about it. 1997, that's exactly 40 years, am I right? 67 plus 30, that's 97. My brother, my sister, Kufuor came in and he was able to buy the company from the people somewhere in 2008. But before the people went, there were demonstrations. Yes, 4 years before they left, or 4 years before their contract ended in 1997, the trade union at VALCO came out, demonstrated before they had their salaries increase. In the days of Rawlings, he also came in and pushed very hard so that they would build a hospital there for the people, maternity leave, and so many other things for the workers. They also built the Kaiser Flats in Community 4. My brother, they built schools. Today the SOS used to be called the VALCO School in Tema. My brother, my sister, Ghana enjoyed a few things from these people. And when they left, after Kufuor already decided to pay for it. How much did Kufuor pay Kaiser to leave Ghana? 20 million American dollars. Then I started hearing that VALCO was going to be sold. They started making losses. The Ghanaians who took over, they were struggling. The machines that Nkrumah brought are the same machines. Hey, they are making losses. People are crying. Hey! So when Kufuor bought it, it was debt after the first few years of making a bit of profit. Because the white guys left a lot of raw materials and some other assets. And after they used all this, the factory started running at a loss. Last year alone, 2025, they ran at a loss to the tune of 50 million American dollars. When Kufuor came, he toyed with the idea of selling VALCO. Nana Addo came, he also toyed with the idea of selling VALCO. But you know what they did? They filled the place with foot soldiers. The factory that is not making money, you fill it with foot soldiers. Foot soldiers who went there to do nothing. They have no designation. Just go there at the end of the month, they pay you. Go and show your face. They knew nothing. They were not sweeping the place. They didn't know how to touch and work with the machines. Nothing. They only went to sit down there and talk politics. And then, for the first time, Nana Addo decided to handpick people to go and run the place. Politically, it always used to be a government institution which had people working there, becoming CEOs and all that. But when Nana Addo came, he decided to pick politicians and make them run VALCO. Oh yes. Titus Glover was there. He was with his assistant, the Honorable Kingsley. He was also there. Hey! Titus Glover was removed and sent somewhere else. His deputy, Honorable Kingsley, who was also an MP some time ago and a former Minister of State, bam, took over the affairs. When I heard VALCO was going to be sold, I decided to go to VALCO. It was early morning to go and find out things for myself because I love Kwame Nkrumah so much. This is the last factory of Nkrumah that is going to go like that. Remember Gihok and all those? In the name of a certain investor, they end up selling the place. So we drove quietly and then we entered the blocks. This is VALCO. We entered the yard. We didn't want to cause too much problems. We didn't want the attention. So we sat in the car and decided to film the place quietly without any problems. This is VALCO. My brother, this is the building. The way Nkrumah built it, nothing has been added. If anything at all, it has rather deteriorated. And you see all those blocks there. My brother, my sister, they are used for the production of aluminium. When we went, the factory was on. Smoke was coming out from so many different pipes in the area. This is VALCO dying out gradually. Look at this area there. And that's me there trying to do some gymnastics there. My brother, these are the ports. They are now producing at only 20% capacity. And the white thing, that's the anode tray bay. The white substance you see there, they call it fluoride. And it's in sacks. It's part of the materials they use in the production of aluminium in the area. It was early morning. My brother, my sister, me and my team were having a conversation with some people that we saw there and trying to pick up the vibrations. My brother, that is VALCO rotting up quietly. But there is a new management there. One Dr. Sambian is in charge. And he seems to be doing quite well after his boss, Honorable Kingsley, was chased out of the place by NDC foot soldiers. Dr. Sambian is the one manning this. He's been working there for so long. And he knows the ins and outs. Look at some of the, machine parts that are broken. They cannot be used anymore. My brother, my sister, we looked at all these things. And we had the gentleman here called Mr. Ajimai Watchman. That's his name. Who told us a lot. This is one of the biggest factories Kwame Nkrumah, in fact, gave to us right here. Oh, yes. Now they got an additional 600 acres of land to be able to expand VALCO and put in an aluminium smelter. And that's me going through the machines and just praying. Next to VALCO, there is this. It's a yard where they pack a lot of, these things. Then there's a Chinese company there that is sitting on VALCO land because the Nana Addo government had given it out. This is the Chinese company, my brother. And all the messages there. You can see China right there, my brother, my sister. Yes. And we returned looking at all these things happening. And that thing that you see there is called the fluoride. Okay? That's what they use in the production of the aluminum ingots and all that. And they have ready markets. The only problem is that they are not even able to produce. This was a truck that Nkrumah imported into the country, Russian style. Some of these are still there. My brother, from the days of Nkrumah, they are there and they need more of this. They can't get them. This is what it is. Oh my God. We had a big tour and we saw whatever was happening right there. And we spoke with some people right there. Now, my first point of action, after speaking with the people in the area that I saw about VALCO, they also told me they had heard that a certain investor was coming and they were scared that it was going to be a political kind of thing and that VALCO would also be sold. Kwame Nkrumah's final factory that is remaining strong. Yes, it's been making some losses, but can it be salvaged? Is getting an investor, a pseudo buyer, the answer? We went to talk to the immediately gone CEO of the place who had succeeded in making some amount of profit before he left, Honorable Kingsley. And he spoke to us. Please pay attention. Listen to him. In this interview, he told me about how his own party, the NPP, brought party foot soldiers to inundate or flood the list of employees to the point that they couldn't even pay. And when he decided to sack them, they reported him to Nana Addo. He was invited to the Jubilee House or the Flagstaff House, and he went to defend himself. But up till now, some party people are still angry with him. He's a supporter of Bawumia, and people have told Bawumia that, hey, you know what? This man sacked foot soldiers when he was in power. If you continue bringing him around you, nobody is going to vote for you. For him, he was only doing the needful. He loves Nkrumah. He comes from the region where Nkrumah grew up. And he hated to see an Nkrumah factory go down the drain like that. Let's listen to him. Watch this.
And they were importing every single thing, including even tissue paper. They were importing everything. So it's like apart from the employment they're giving to Ghanaians, and even then how many people were employed, apart from that, everything was, even food, they were importing from America. So Kufuor decided that no, we are not going to renew on the same terms unless you are ready to agree to the revision of the terms to our benefits. As our means Ghana's benefit. They refused and wanted to sell. So Kufuor decided, okay, if you want to sell, we will buy. And Kofo actually bought it. I think it was in his first term. And then they were still in operation. I understand that when they bought it at first, they made enough money to pay the investment that government made in terms of purchasing the company. How much was it? I understand it's about 20 million. And in the first year, dollars, Ghana cedis. 70 million United States dollars, not Ghana cedis. There we don't talk about cedis. 70 million. 20 million is what Kofo paid for 18 to 20 million. But then in the first year of operation, I understand they made about 60 million profits. And subsequently, they were making profits. But then the machines, you know, machines have economic lifetime. So the machines were getting older. And typical of Ghana and Ghanaians, instead of reinvesting in the business by changing the machinery and equipment and then doing things, somehow they were not done. The time that I went there first as a deputy CEO in 2023, the company was not in a very good shape. The machine, virtually every equipment had to be manned by somebody. We'll be standing there. The moment there's a small problem, we have to stop production and then try to bring people to come and fix it. Sometimes it takes a day or two. So we were operating, as at the time I was living, at below, 20% capacity. And even then, it was not efficient production. So things were not okay. But then when I took over, I did my best, because as an accountant, what I basically know is that if your revenue is dwindling, you cannot afford to keep your costs at the same level. So I found a way of reducing the cost drastically. So for instance, in 2023, our loss was about $18 million. But when I took over in February, March, within the second quarter, by the end of the second quarter, because of the excessive cost control that I engaged in, what exactly did you do? I made sure that I focus on only the essential costs. Yes, some people had to be asked to go home, because when I took over as CEO, I realized that in less than a year, over 350 people had been purportedly employed. Most of them did not have a schedule, and it was not like a replacement. The company had not acquired started any new business. The same old business, even the number of ports were coming down, but we're increasing the number. Things that some of the services like busing, security service and things like that were being outsourced at far lower cost. The contract was cancelled and people were employed at sometime about 5-6 times the price, just so that we will have our own people. But it is fashionable that in today's world, hardly do you see many private companies having their own security. They want to outsource it. It takes the burden out of them, and they also reduce costs and they earn efficiency. So applying that principle, of course, as somebody who has taken over a new company with all these challenges and with the background that I have, I sat down, professionally tried to diagnose what the problems, the causes of our poor performance was. And indeed, if I had not taken those decisions, I don't think we will be talking about VALCO as an OPCO operating company as at now. Well, what I did, it was with his consent. But of course, in a political environment, when people lose their jobs, they will push. And as I sit here, even the candidate I'm supporting is being used against me that, oh, I'm not a good party person. Because when I had opportunity, I sacked party people. But anybody who knows me, I'm a very reasonable person. I like to follow procedure. So when I came with this idea, I went to the board. The board discussed it thoroughly. They approved it. Of course, it's a state entity. So we couldn't have taken that decision without consulting there. So the minister was brought on board. We went to the Jubilee House for approval before we did it. Yet, when the implementation started, of course, in political environment, everybody knows somebody. So people were talking to all kinds of people, and then pressure was brought to bear on me. But I'm somebody that I like to do the right thing. So I was called to the Jubilee House. I explained myself, gave all the evidence I could, because the principle is, we met about a little over 700 people. We are now over 950 people. And the argument is that the people who were employed were party men. If we sack them, and that was around May, June last year, last 2 years, 2024, knowing that election is coming, if you sack about the 150, 160 people that you are sacking, they and their families will vote against us. So my question is, okay, if we feel that 160 people, even if let's say everybody has a family of 10, they will vote against us, that's 1,600. Because of that, we cannot win election. What if the company collapses and all the 950 people have to lose their jobs? And multiply that by 10. Can we win election with them, with that? By the end of the second quarter, when we did all this and we look at the figures, the $18 million loss had reduced drastically. And by the end of the third quarter, we had turned the company around. So the board was so impressed. And in fact, some of them were wondering, is this guy a politician? Why is he behaving? Because we know politicians, they will be looking at what will come to them. Ask them, I never took a penny. I didn't even live in a company house. I didn't drive a company house, a company vehicle. I drove my own car. The car is parked here. I drove my own car. Whatever is due me is what I took. So, in fact, this created a lot of hatred for me because people who were chopping, quote and unquote, there were a lot of riots going on. So one day I was driving to the office. I got to the motorway when I had a call that, look, if you are not already in the plant, please don't come because the food soldiers are here. I think that was first or second week in January. I said, what are they for? What are they there for? I mean, I think they can show you the pictures. They caused a lot of them. I'm sure that if they had met me there, they'll probably not be alive to speak. Just because I'm doing the right thing. I didn't mind. After a week or so, we got the national security involved and everything. I was in the office one day when 3 people, one of whom was even a cleaner in a bank somewhere, that my deputy was a branch manager. He came to my office to ask me why am I still there, because the government has changed. And I told them, oh, government has changed, but I'm here as a public officer. Not until I'm asked to go. I can't just wake up and say government has changed, I'm not coming to work. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do.
Interesting.
So on the, I think, 7th or 8th February, I think it was 4th, I went to the office one day and then I was handed a letter that a dispatcher that brought a letter that the president is thanking me for my service, but he wants me to leave the organization. So, well, there are a lot of challenges with the organization. I think in the course of the interview, I've mentioned a few of them. The equipment and the machinery there are obsolete. The technology itself is obsolete. So it poses a lot of risk, a lot of challenges, and it makes the operation non-efficient. Company, I've also said that government is subsidizing the power that is being used there and all other challenges. But I personally am not for the sale of the company. My reason is that it is a strategic state asset. The company is sitting on a 600-acre land in a prime area in Tema. If I were a private investor and I took it over, and it's normal the first thing I'll do is to look at selling part of the land, because the last time I checked, a land there is costing about $300,000 to $400,000. 600, if I'm able to sell 100, look at how much money I make. Plus community 6. Community 6 in Tema is a prime area, and look at the bungalows there. I think there are 31 of them. You can sell them and make money. There are other assets elsewhere. In fact, we even had 200-acre land in Atuabo. That one we had the approval of government to sell because it was acquired initially to produce power for ourselves, produce power from the gas, give it to the VRA, and then we take it here. Thankfully, with the West Africa gas pipeline and the reverse flow of the gas, we can now get the power in Tema here. So that land is redundant. There was even a litigation. But when we took over, myself and my former boss, we were able to fight for the case to be disposed. So now VALCO owns it. It's 200 acres. Things like that can be sold, get money to invest in the company. But the point I'm trying to make is that if you sold such an important strategy, in fact, we even have a dock that we use. If we sold it today, what is the guarantee that the private operator who is taking it over will come and do exactly what we expect him to do? You are in the media. Look at the number of state assets, state companies that have been sold. Tell me how many of them are still successful in operation and is benefiting Ghana. Business entities are selfish entities. They want to make their profit and go.
Business entities are selfish. They only want to make their profits and go. The tape is long for a reason. My brother, you heard the man speak. Honorable Kingsley Abuaje Jedu. He was an MP, a deputy health minister at the time, and the boss of VALCO after Titus Glover was moved. He's no more there. He's opened up to tell us what his party did that was wrong. And he stood in as a real son of the land. VALCO sits on 600 acres, not 6,000 of land. And there are 200 more in a trouble. For him, he thinks that there's no need for any investor, a pseudo buyer. What can happen is sell off some of the properties of VALCO, like the houses in Community 6, Community 4, Kaiser Flats, and maybe some other pieces of land in the periphery, including the Atrabo one that is not supposed to be used now because of the purpose it was meant for. Sell that, get the money, and pump that into VALCO. There are competent people who can handle the thing. If you bring in the so-called foreign investors, they are going to collapse the business like they collapse all other Kwame Nkrumah factories. Now there is a VALCO workers union right there inside VALCO, and we decided to speak with the president of the union, the VALCO union. In fact, we didn't speak for long because we had spent the whole day going around. We were tired. He spoke for only 1 minute. This is Ajiman, watchman, talking to us. Watch this.
I, together with my executives, wrote a letter to the president. When we heard, in fact, the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources commissioned a committee to search for investor. We were there when 28 October, when the minister came to the plant. When he came there, the other CEO was sitting there, VALCO CEO was sitting there, and he asked them to talk. The first word that came out from the other CEO said that by the end of December, we are going to find an investor for VALCO. We are going to use 1 month to look to pick an investor for a giant company like this. Upon what facts? What are the facts, or what are the valuation of the company that you are going to use to give the company out? And the news we are hearing, who they want to sell it to and all that, it doesn't work, because if we sell VALCO to a politician link person today, another government will come and they will sell Tor to a politician link person. They will sell Gapoha to a politician link person, ECG to a politician link. Then very soon you realize that the company is the country is owned by the elites. Then the common and average people will have nothing to eat. This is where we don't want to get to. This is why, as a youth in VALCO, I don't know what other youth are doing, but I will not sit down for VALCO to be sold wrongfully. We are not against investors. We are making losses, but there are justification for that. When the executive are giving hands to work, they are giving authority to work. It is not when, like the previous government did, they appointed an executive and they allow them to employ people, over 300 people. If you do that, a company cannot run. If you appoint somebody as a deputy, as a CEO and a board, allow them to work, and when they work, the company will make profits. But if politicians put pressure on the executive, they cannot operate. I'm not against an investor, but I am for an investor that will still retain the company for Ghana. All the diversification that we did for NKRUMAH'S companies that we did, there is none existing. Which one is existing? So if we don't take time, VALCO to go down the drain, and that is what we are against.
And that is what we are against. He spoke a lot of sense. Now, I decided to call the Minister of Lands, Honorable Emmanuel Amakofi-Boa. He's also an MP for Elembele. He had recently gone to VALCO, as you were told, and he looked at the place, and that seemed, my brother, my sister, and he spoke to the people. And I asked him, has VALCO been sold? He said no. Is VALCO going to be sold? He said no. I asked him, I am told that there is a new investor for VALCO. Is that not another way of selling our birthright back to the same Kaisers who we had to buy VALCO from? He said, no, we advertise for investors. One has been shortlisted. His outfit is what is going to handle VALCO if we agree finally. And I asked, what's the name? ARK Holdings. ARK Holdings. It's a foreign-owned holdings. He has branches and interest in so many countries, Hong Kong, America, China, and all over. If ARK Holdings is actually coming to take over VALCO, then it's as good as just saying bye-bye to the last Kwame Nkrumah factory. Yes, they are making losses. Dr. Sambian, the new CEO, tells me that, yes, they are making losses, but they can turn around the company. He's been working there for a long time. Many other people there are saying they can turn it around. All they need is 2 years. Can we give them the 2 years? Push them and help them to be able to do the work. Because they have ready market, yet they don't have the products to even sell. They are running only 20% of their capacity. Can we look at this? The minister told me they made a loss of $50 million last year. The nation cannot continue doing this. Yes, the nation doesn't have the money, but the factory can be refurbished. Like you were told, obsolete machines, obsolete technology. What can we do? 600 acres of land, housing one of the biggest projects Kwame Nkrumah ever had, aside the Akosombo Dam. And the reason this factory is here is because of the Akosombo Dam. Are we seeing the last of Nkrumah's factories going down? Are we ready as Ghanaians to salvage the image of the Osagefo by making sure that the workers put their shoulders to the wheel and start making profit? They say they want only 2 years. And government doesn't pay VALCO. VALCO works and pays itself. But of course, it subsidizes electricity, and that's a national asset. Well, our prayer is that this will work. I called the minister and he spoke those words to me. We ended our conversation when I asked him, if the workers say, give them 2 years, they will be able to salvage this. Will you give them the 2 years? He said, yes. We will sit together. They should convince me and the nation that the 2 years will be enough for them to be able to build back VALCO. So that means there's a glimmer of hope in the tunnel on the other side. On this note, Kwame Nkrumah is watching and he's asking, Ghana, would you let this one too go? It's the Blakk Pot, aka Kukushonemo, where we speak truth to power. When we return, we have a final story. Hey ya! Hey yo! Woyo!
Blakk Pot. Kukushonema.
It's the Blakk Pot, aka Kukushonemo, where we speak truth to power. And my name, Blakk Rasta. If you have not subscribed to this channel yet, please hit on the subscription button. Right after that, you hit on the notification bell and you are on. Please share the broadcast so many people can be part of this. Oh yes, we have a big story coming up. But our numbers are scrolling on the screen. Pick up the numbers and do business with us. Maybe you have a story you want us to follow up on. Please, we are more than excited to do that. Absolutely for free. We don't charge. All right? This is the home of exclusives. This is the Blakk Pot, aka Kukushonemo. And here we speak truth to power. This is the address of the truth, the domicile of the truth. Oh yes, the habitat of the truth. And we love the truth, okay? This is the Blakk Pot, aka Kukushonemo. All right? Let your comments come in. Let them simmer in, filter in, seep in. All right? Ahmed Tijani Suleiman says, Amu of fire. Fire, yeah. Watch this. We have Bene Champon. He says, Amu of fire. Bawa Uwa says, Amu of fire. Abukari Ahmed says, good evening. I'm watching you live from Nyektia. Extend my greetings to Uncle Alaji Suleimana Savulgu, and Hajia Sajida for me. In fact, you are doing fantastic. Keep it up. May Allah bless you. And your name is Abubakari Ahmed Gunu Nyetria. Okay. We love you. We appreciate you. Abubakari Ahmed. More comments coming in. You can send them via YouTube. They could also come via Facebook. Okay. Now we also have Ogunyami Prince. And it says, this is the Black Pot, a.k.a. Kukushonemo, where we speak truth to power. Bliss Abound says, legendary Black Rasta. Torture them with the truth, Rasta. Jankoni Wari says, respect my brother. Salifu Fadilu says, good evening, Black. Great man with great wisdom. Suleimana Jaguar says, watching you from Savulgu, Amuwa Fire. More comments coming in, all right? From Facebook and also from YouTube. Bliss Abound says, you're welcome to the Black Empire Media. Here, we don't rush stories. The professor takes his time to elaborate on issues. So if you are in a hurry, you know that this is not your platform. Because we make sure you understand it properly. Okay? All right. You're all welcome. John Doe says, government WhatsApp group member has received his fair share of the loot. Ni Odate Mill says, good evening, Black. You are live in Finland. Thank you. We love you. Are you in Helsinki? Where are you in Finland? Okay? Ogoyami Prince says, prayer for SAMMY GYAMFI. May all our African ancestors guide and protect you from evil and wicked ones so that you can do more than this for Mother Ghana. Agbashi Victor says, fire. Scripture GH says, Kukushonemo. Eric Yao Lopez Abankwa says, listening to you from New Jersey, affectionately called Garden City. You are so right on many issues. Great job, my brother. Love you. More comments coming in. Remember, send them via Facebook. They could also come via YouTube. Raz Kakaiku Emmanuel says he's watching. Eric Yao Lopez Abankwa says, please, if you can get me the World Cup tickets, I'll be very grateful. 2 games I need to see, the Philly and Boston games. Mark Romeo Fori says, why Otumfuo, Professor Blakk? Is he the only chief in Ghana? No. Otiko Koso. He's the only chief, king, emperor, ruler in Ghana who is associated with gold. Whose middle name is Gold. Otiko Koso is one of his appellates, right? Appellations, right? Yeah, so that's it. Now, Bill Evans says, forget that king who couldn't do anything. Which one? Alex Wallace is laughing. More comments, okay? More comments. Send them via YouTube. They could also come via Facebook. And here is Alaji Yusuf Fuseni. I said, Black Rasta, you exaggerate a lot. I really don't know if because you have control over the English or just because you are talkative. Even Anglo Gold, Newmont, couldn't get Otumfuo to become ambassador for them. So that's the exaggeration. I like that. What's his name again? Alaji Fuseni. Oh. Well, maybe I'm a talkative. Maybe, as for that, they used to say that a lot when I was in school. But my brother, that's what I'm saying. If Otumfuo can be an ambassador, why shouldn't he? It's about gold. What is Newmont? What's Anglo Gold? Those were owned by foreigners who paraded themselves as whatever. They just gave us names that we could align with. But how much did we have as a nation? GOLDBOD is 100% owned by Ghana. So Anglo Gold, my foot. Newmont, my foot. You understand the vibe? My brother, you get it? Bring back that thing. Bring back that comment, okay? My brother, that's what we're talking about. Yeah, so it's not an exaggeration. I believe that you understand what I'm trying to say. If we can get Otumfuo, hey, this is a national issue. Otumfuo should be part of it. That's why I'm saying if we can, we should push him to be. Otumfuo is a patron of so many clubs. Why can't he be a patron? Or is it the name ambassador that is the problem? Let's aim high. Hey, if Otumfuo becomes ambassador for GOLDBOD jewelry, Jesus, look at what we would achieve. Do you even think Otumfuo will allow his name to be associated with GOLDBOD that has started with scandals? Oh, okay, so I see where you're coming from now. I see where you're coming from. All right, GOLDBOD and what scandals? I mean, they've been able to tell us GOLDBOD has started very well and the economy is buoyant. We are happy as Ghanaians. Let's give credit where credit is due. You might have your resentments, disagreements and all that, but it is what it is. I want Otumfuo to be an ambassador or a patron of GOLDBOD. It's not too much to ask. It's a national issue. Of course, you are not neutral, so we know where you are tilted in your narratives. Stop the exaggeration and speak real truth to power. Where is the tilting? The tilting is just the truth. I don't do politics. It looks like you rather want to do some politics. You understand that? Alaji. With all respect, Alaji, just look left and look right and ask yourself, Charlie, this thing way Blakk Rasta talk, what he talk will be wrong. But the political lenses will not allow you to look at this. Anyway, you have made your point, okay? And we appreciate you for making your point. All right? Samuel Sunday says, please, can you bring us the story of the attempted murder on Sewa Bruni by Hobson Adoye? No matter how long the crime happened, it's still a crime. All right, well. All right, well. Attempted murder. This was talked about in Ghana, all over and all that. And I think they've done justice to that story. It's enough. They've done justice to that story. All right? Yeah. Daniel Ganigo says, can these political parties stop getting in the way of the companies, in company with these prophets? Okay, well, can these political parties stop getting in company with these friends? Okay, with these prophets. And then Bori Issa says, say it again. And then Yusuf Banks said, Blakk Rasta, you are great. We love you. Thank you. Ben Adongo says, we love you. But hate not Shatawale. We don't hate anybody. I love Shatawale. He knows that. He's my brother. I love him. The truth is the truth. How can we hate people? If we hate anybody at all, they are there. Those politicians who came and disturbed our country. Is Shatawale a politician? No, sir. Don't even go there, my brother. Okay? Ibrahim ADT says, amazing. Can you touch on the American base in Ghana, which President Mahama demonstrated about demonstrators during Akufo-Addo, and now that he's in the president, he doesn't want to cancel them. Ghana is based, well, I think I understand what you're trying to say, but please take your time so we can understand exactly what you want to say, okay? Kwame Kwe says, selling VALCO is not in alignment with the values of Pan-Africanism. Rhetorics without action do not make one a Pan-Africanist. We cannot sell our factories while others are building factories. Thank you. And Kwame Kwe says again, what a shame. And we claim to be educated. Something is certainly amiss. Richard Owusu-Konedu said, next time when you are visiting a company on safety, on a safety, right? Safety, okay. Maybe helmet. We couldn't do that because it was like, you know, we're just sneaking in and something like that. But I understand that. You know, investigative journalism is very risky. Very risky. Anyway, well, so Kwame Kwe says, who did this to us? And for how long, my people? Amanyamiba says, come here. Sufyan Suleimana says, watching you live, my godfather. Oyoy. Riku says, Blakk, what's up? Wow, I have delayed. Anyway, I'm now on the waves with you. Sela says, I disagree with selling the lands. We should rather use them for something that will help the country. Something like what? selling the land, we're going to take the money. Remember, we are selling those to Ghanaians. You know, and we take their money. That's beneficial to Ghana. And refurbishing our companies if we can get loans from the government. All right? Or, better still, whoever is investing should have a number of years. 5 years, 10 years. Just like Kaiser. 30 years was long. After 30 years, Kaiser is gone. We took over our thing. We should have things like that, okay? But we have a lot of rich people in Africa who can be part of this, all right? Okay, so, all right, so more comments coming in. Facebook, YouTube, we appreciate you. We appreciate you. We truly appreciate you. We love you, okay? Our numbers are scrolling on the screen. Pick up the numbers and do business with us. We love you. Riku says, yes, where are the lands that Osagyefo spoke about with his good sense and simply for the betterment of Ghana? Where are the lands? Wow, I think whoever has taken that land has to leave. Emmanuel, Amejro, am I correct with you? Amejo says, is Mahama aware of this? I cry, my beloved country, Ghana. Of course, he's in power and he knows that this is what is happening. As they said, it's not been sold yet and it's not going to be sold. They are looking for an investor. And when you look online, you would see some of the bits and pieces, but we're bringing it out so that it doesn't take Ghanaians by surprise. Okay? Riku says, now Ghana has been awkward and has to come and develop all those lands and build our nation and put it on the map. Well, I think I understand what you're trying to say. Francis Kumase, okay, says, I'm strongly disappointed you disagree with Nigel, very disrespectful to the Ghan king. I am strongly disappointed you disagree with Nigel, very disrespectful to the Ghan king. Can he even dare in a second to say such comments to Otumfo, the Asante king, and go scot-free? Kwabikwe says, is what he's suggesting, but going to help the nation, is reinvesting the land sales into the company. Is it not good enough? Okay? And Francis Kumase says, no respect to Ghan king and chiefs, but staying on their land. And then Silver Gold Gamedo says, oh, Kobi Kwe says, we are here finding solutions to Ghana, selling its properties to foreigners. And here you are talking about the prophecies to God for having the government chair. Are you serious? Yes, we are serious. Remember, we are the same people talking about the land. So you see, we talk about the land, we talk about this, and we talk about this. You know, abusia nchemfa. You understand? All right, my brother. So, here we are with Fallas Navy. He says, only Americans can help VALCO. Are you sure? Hey! Well, Kobe Kwe says the sale of Ghana's national assets are part of the evil IMF conditionalities placed on Ghana. Don't we ever learn? And Evans Asem says, Blackout Rasta, I am watching you from South Korea and I'm so touched by the VALCO story. Thank you. Massa Yusuf says, history will never forget your great work. Watching you live from Hamburg, Germany. Thank you. And Evans Asem continues, can you please work behind the scenes and see to it that VALCO is not sold? Please and please. Of course, we are on that trajectory. And we'll make sure that, and I remember when we were in the university, there was a song we used to sing. Oh my God, university, so sweet. Okay, send your comments and we'll take them in the second batch. Story, and this is the final story. Number 4. Watch this. Ken OFORI-ATTA'S big American lawyer, John ASHKOFF, in big trouble. Now, remember where you heard it first. John David ASHKOFF, we told you when we broke the news here, that he was Ken OFORI-ATTA'S American lawyer. We told you that. Before the Attorney General came to tell you. Okay? Now, we also put on record that this was a former Attorney General from 2001 to 2005. And he's not an ordinary man. He's a singer in the Assemblies of God Church. At the same time, this man here is also a former MP. In America, they call them senators. This man here, my brother, my sister, is also a very interesting guy. He's a university professor of law. And they have established a certain scholarship using his name. They love him and respect him in America. This is the guy. This was the guy who was approached by Ken OFORI-ATTA'S after Ken OFORI-ATTA'S got wind of the fact that this man was working with the Attorney General of Ghana to have him extradited. Ethically, a lawyer is not supposed to jump ships like that. If I am a lawyer for Kwamina, and Kwamina is in a case with MANTSE, so Kwamina versus MANTSE, I am in the camp of Kwamina. Under no circumstances should I ever be seen to be in the camp of MANTSE. Ethically, in law, you don't do that. Because it is assumed that you have heard a lot from Kwamina, and you can use that information for the benefit of MANTSE, the adversary. But this is what this guy has done to us. He was working with the Attorney General to have Ken OFORI-ATTA'S brought back to Ghana in extradition. Long before that, the Attorney General, Dr. Dominic Akuritinga Ayine, had told him, hey, there's this guy there called Ken OFORI-ATTA'S. I am investigating him. I've realized there's some offshore issues. In fact, he has his dirty fingers in there. And he gave information to this man, a lot of information. And John David ASHKOFF was helping to bring down Ken OFORI-ATTA'S because he's a former Attorney General and a professor of law. So he knows the ins and outs of American law. And Dominic Akuritinga Ayine believed in him. My brother, when Ken OFORI-ATTA'S heard this, and the extradition docket was sent to the American people, Ken quickly went to see this guy and told him, you know what? I know that you are working with my people in Ghana to bring me down. Name your price, I will pay you. He mentioned it. Bam, 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 bam. Big money. He churned out the money, doled it out, spread it on the table like a mat. And he got very, very greedy and accepted it. Right now, their conversations changed. Instead of calling Dominic Akuritinga Ayine and saying that, you know what? This your man. Let's go here, let's go here. We will get him extradited. He started to speak a different language. What did he say? He said, hey, you know what? Are you sure that the extradition, when he comes home, he will have a fair trial, he will have a safe passage? He said, of course, you know that. But when he went back to Kennedy, I beg your pardon, Ken OFORI-ATTA'S, and told him, Charlie, go to Ghana. He said, no, I didn't pay you to send me back to Ghana. I want to remain here. Why are you talking about me going to Ghana? Make sure that I remain here. I've paid. Oh, you want more money? So now, this guy here called John David ASHKOFF went back to the Attorney General of Ghana and told him that, you know what? Let me be frank with you. I am now in the camp of Ken OFORI-ATTA'S. And Akrutinga Ayini put his hand on his head. Ethically, this is not supposed to be done. The last time I checked, the Attorney General was sitting in meetings to see how this man here can be sued for conflict of interest in one way or the other. But the Attorney General doesn't seem to be interested in that suit. But it gave him another option to be able to get to the Americans and get Ken come home through a revocation of his visa. We have given you all the information. What is new today? Come here. Now, John David ASHKOFF handpicked another lawyer by name Inayat Kasimi. Full name Inayatullah Kasimi. This guy, he's a specialist extradition lawyer. His specialty, listen, is in extradition. And he only works for top-notch VVIP people around the world. Now, once you are arrested by ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement of America, 98% of the time, you are going home. But this man is a specialist when it comes to extradition. So he's known and renowned all over America. Now this man here called Inayat Kasimi, he was born and bred in Afghanistan. And listen to this, it's very important. He was handpicked by John David ASHKOFF, knowing his pedigree. He says, I have a top-notch client. I want you to help him. Make sure that he remains here. And most of the time, this guy never fails. Inayat Kasimi. He was born in Afghanistan. In 2004, the president of Afghanistan decided to make him the Minister of Transport and Aviation. Transport and Aviation. At the time, he was only 26 years. Can I just go back a bit? This man has 2 dates of birth. Like that guy in Kumasi. Reverend Kusi Boateng. 2 different dates of birth. 1979. And then later, 1969. 10 years. What a man. What happened? In 2004, he was supposed to be the Transport and Aviation Minister. But the laws of the country said, you cannot be a minister if you are less than 35 years. But the country still wanted him to be a minister because he was sharp. He went to school in America, so sharp. So his age was forced and changed from the 79 birth to 1969, 10 years interval. Like Abedi Pele was going to play for the Black Stars and his age was so low, they had to increase it by 2 years or so he could play for the Black Stars. That was what happened to this guy. Initially born in 1979, all of a sudden, because of politics and office, 69 born. And when he went in there, controversies. After his tenure of office in 2006, 5 years later, in 2011, another government came into power and held him. He had allegedly stolen $9 million American dollars from the people of Afghanistan. In fact, he had gone into a certain deal that was supposed to procure 4 aircrafts for the Afghan nation. Do you understand? And the 4 aircrafts, he had chobo, what we call in Ghana chobo, kickback, $9 million American dollars. But he was behind bars for only 3 days. The new leader quickly brought him out and cancelled all the charges and said that they were baseless. From that time, he found himself in America again, practicing his law, top-class lawyer. This man here is a controversial lawyer. The Afghan people still think that he's a criminal who ran away with their $9 million American dollars. A lot of them believe that it was politically stirred up. My brother, my sister, these are the 2 big names around Ken OFORI-ATTA'S. But interestingly, Victor Smith has spoken. Who is Victor Smith? He spoke with Joy FM. And he told Joy FM that he went all the way to the Caroline Detention Center. And remember yesterday we told you this. To speak with Ken OFORI-ATTA'S. And Ken refused that he doesn't need any help from Ghana. All Ghanaians should leave him in peace and go away. Now, and remember we told you this before it broke. The FBI is involved in the case of Ken OFORI-ATTA'S. 5 different agents and institutions. 5 in America. And we gave you all the info. Now the interesting thing is, if it was all about immigration, ICE would have been the only outfit interested in that. But once FBI has its hand there, as told to us by Victor Smith, the Ghana ambassador to America, there is no way Ken is going to stay there. He will come home. Can I tell you more? Why is the FBI interested in Ken? Yesterday we gave you a gist. Can we go deeper today? My brother, my sister, the Attorney General told us point blank that he is investigating Ken OFORI-ATTA'S in one aspect, not the SML. And what is the aspect? Offshore. Do you know what it means to say offshore? Do you know the intricacies of offshore crimes? What are offshore crimes? What is the Attorney General investigating specifically in this Ken OFORI-ATTA'S offshore crime? Run the dossier. Watch this. Offshore crimes involve illegal activities using maritime routes or offshore financial centers, including piracy, smuggling, human and drug trafficking, and illegal fishing, often linked to transnational organized crime for money laundering, tax evasion. Hallelujah. Ken OFORI-ATTA'S made a lot of money using his data bank. All the money that came into the country, he had a cut. Did he launder the money? What other dealings was he involved in that had to do with offshore crimes? Eh? Money laundering, tax evasion. Can we enter into that? Now watch this. These crimes exploit the vastness of the sea and secrecy in financial havens, affecting trade, security, food, and food supply, and require international cooperation. Listen, this is the most important part of it. And require international cooperation to combat effectively. Happen. If Ghana is having an international cooperation, and I'm very careful when I'm telling you this, Ghana has contacted 5 institutions, and we gave you all that. Go back and watch. Some of you say, you know, and we bring you too much information, okay? So go back and watch. 5 institutions. Why will Ghana go after a man with 5 American institutions? 1 man with such a heavy international cooperation and collaboration. Hey, I have a few pictures I feel like putting up for you to see what I see, but I'm not permitted. At the right time, you will see them first here. The home of exclusives. Bring back that dossier. Okay? Now watch this. Types of offshore crimes, maritime piracy and armed robbery. Forget about that. Smuggling and trafficking. Hey. Leave that out. Flip the page. Illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing. Leave that out. Financial crimes. That is where my interest is. Hallelujah. Money laundering, tax evasion, fraud, and corruption, often facilitated by offshore financial centers. Ay. Kai, dodo. Kai, sheje bahyole. Kai. My brother, my sister, that is all I am interested in. Now come to the key characteristics. Transnational and organized often involves complex networks operating across multiple jurisdictions using shell companies and secrecy to hide illicit funds and